Hello everyone and welcome to today's Starseed Healing Circle. So today we finally get to be inside the pyramid. I am going to do a miniature version of the attunement that we did within the pyramid. So I can just do that as a transmission for you guys as well. And yeah, I've set up the grid, same as what I've did within the pyramid, and I must say the energy is actually quite buzzing at the moment. So looking forward to sharing this with you. Before we get there, let's start with our tuning. So today we tune in with the Nexus Lightcode. Just perhaps close your eyes, drop down into your heart, and just tune in for a moment to what it is that you would like to receive, what you would like to let go of, what you would like to bring into your life, what you would like to heal. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to open and gently fall or rest upon the light code. Perhaps tracing the lines with your eyes, like it's a labyrinth for your eyes. And keep your focus and awareness on what it is that you would like to work with today. What's your focus? You can stay here as long as you need. Okay, so let's have a look at our journey. I don't have too many photos for this event, unfortunately. Yeah, this one as I'd mentioned in the last session, we went to the Marriott Hotel and then we arrived back at the pyramid 10 o'clock at night to enter. We had security with us and obviously the guardians of the pyramid as they were holding the space and also opening up the spaces for us within the pyramid. But because this was 2 hours that were blocked off for us and we were coming in to do a ceremony, there was really not enough time to take photos or anything like that. We were all on a mission to do the work and to do the activation. So you can probably see right at the bottom there's the people as we gathered before entering. And just if you look a little bit further up, you'll see there's this little triangular spot. That is the entrance. So we had to climb up on those blocks to get to the entrance. So going into the pyramid, we started off going up this really narrow, short, small little shaft. And it is the shaft that you see on the left is low, as in you cannot stand up in this shaft. You have to fold yourself forward. So you have to bend at the hips and then literally look down at the floor as you climb. And it literally feels like you are climbing forever. We finally then got into the Queen's Chamber, which is on the right. The Queen's Chamber is off limits to the general public. And even to people who have private sessions, most of them do not gain access to the Queen's Chamber. So we did an opening ceremony in the Queen's Chamber. And again, we did not spend enough time in this particular chamber. But there is this resonance chamber in the back where you can see Elizabeth is standing inside the chamber, which is a representation or a replica of what the main tunnel looks like as you step up into the King's Chamber. So from the Queen's Chamber, we went up to the King's Chamber, and so on the left we'll see this is the passage leading up to the King's Chamber. This passage is huge and it goes with these little steps that go up, and yeah, it's got incredible sound in here. But again, you go up with this passageway and it just goes on forever. It's really quick. Okay, skip that one. It just goes on and on and on and on. Then when you get to the end of that path, there is like a landing, a small little balcony, and on the balcony there is this tiny little door where you literally have to crawl through to get into the king's chamber that is on the right. So what we did was, in the queen's chamber we did an opening ceremony, and then we went through to the main staircase. At the top of the balcony, Walter, my partner, did a clearing for everybody coming in, and he was holding space as the sort of the local cleanser. The first one to enter into the chamber was Philippa, who is leading us as our sort of lead lady, and she started with opening up sacred space. I was right at the back holding space for the entire group and making sure everybody was going in. And then in the king's chamber, we all sat in a circle and we did our ceremony, which is what I'm going to be replicating for you guys today. Once our ceremony was over, people could meditate and do whatever they wanted. I went straight for the sarcophagus. So on the left, you can see this picture of the sarcophagus, and I climbed in. I just made sure that the security was not in the room, which luckily he wasn't. Oh, also after our meditation, he switched the lights off for us for probably about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes maybe, where we could sit in total darkness and meditate and just be in that beautiful space, wonderful energy. Then when the lights came back on, that's when I climbed into the sarcophagus and I dowsed, and to check what Wands of Horus cards needed to go where and how, and that was the placement that came up for the cards. Once that was done, of course, I went to go lie down in it, and I soaked up some of the energies, and then once I got out, other people started filing in, but afterwards I checked, there were only, out of our group of about 25 people who came into the pyramid, only 9 of us had an opportunity to actually lie within the sarcophagus. There was not enough time for anybody else. But yes, there was some serious downloads that happened during that time. Also, we had a lot of chanting going on, toning, light codes, singing, humming, and all kinds of things that happened during this phase, which was really beautiful. Then from there, we proceeded back down the stairs, and I was the one right at the back, so I had a little bit of a chat to the guardian, and he said, you guys can go down to the subterranean chamber. And that just made my heart pound a bit, because I've been wanting all my life to be in the subterranean chamber under the pyramid, and when I checked and spoke to people, they all said it's completely off limits. Not even public, not even private tours are going in there. And so the security said that they would open up for us, and wow. So anyway, he said, but you guys are on your own there. He says, I'm not going down there. And I asked him why. He says, no, it's a deep passage. It's small, and he doesn't like going down there. So they had another guardian coming down with us. So from there, we went down into the small, this is subterranean chamber at the bottom. And I have to say that out of all of the 3 spaces we were in the pyramid, this place for me was the most magical. The energy felt completely pure. It was just, I can't explain it, but I'll show a little picture of the tunnel in a moment. The tunnel is tiny as well. Going down, I think it goes down about 30 meters, as in steps, going 45 degrees down. And because the passage is so small, you cannot stand going down. You have to fold double, but if you were folded double going down, you would fall on your head. So to go down, you actually have to turn around and go down backwards, like you are climbing down a ladder. And I spoke to everybody in our group, and we all had exactly the same reactions and responses. So people who were afraid of small spaces luckily they were right in front. And what happened was, as you go down, once you've gone down a tiny bit, there's a realization that above you is lots of sand, and above that is massive blocks and of stone, and that at any time all of this can come crashing down on you and you are dead, buried. And we all had the same thoughts, and it is actually quite a claustrophobic move, and all of us at some stage or another going down that step wanted to just get the hell out of there. What happens is, with this really long tunnel, when you get to the center of that tunnel, so it's right in the center, there is a space where it opens up with one of those chambers, like a resonance chamber, and then you can stand up, and so it gives you a little bit of a break halfway through. And when you get right to the end, there's a long little passage that you crawl through again to get through to the subterranean chamber. There where they're standing, where there's a like a little fence, that is a pit that goes down, and I'm not sure how deep that pit goes. So that's the pit on the side on the left. But what we did was we each had a space, and also here they switched the lights for us so we can be in that space in darkness, and just really be. And I have to say, when we got to this level, that fear of everything disappeared completely. So I found a spot off to the side, and I took the Wands of Horus cards out with the crystal skulls and all of that. And in this case, the cards did not want to be unpacked. So I literally had to just pick them up as they were, in the order that they were. And the card that happened to be on top was the card, which is the spirit or soul. And it's the combination of your bar and your car. So that was placed down, and it was there for the duration of our final ceremony within this chamber. And here I really wanted to take some soil. I just felt called to do that. But we had a security guy standing right there, like looking at us all with eagle eyes. So what I did was, as I gathered up my stuff, I took a little pinch of the soil and I just put it in the bag where the Wands of Horus cards were and whatever. So if anybody stopped me or whatever, I could just say, "Whoops, sorry, man." Like when I was picking these things up, I just like a bit of sand. The little bit of sand then later on I put into a little vial, which is it's really a tiny amount of soil, and that little vial I've got on our grid for today. So yeah, leaving the space, that is what the tunnel looks like, going from the steps into the subterranean chamber. And basically the staircase going down looks pretty much like this as well, a little bit higher because you can stand for that, but yeah, very, very small. And then when all of that was done, we came back out. Also have to say, it was extremely hot within the pyramid. We all had fans and stuff with us, like cardboard pieces of cardboard, because it was terribly hot. There's no circulation. Well, there are some circulation within the pyramid, but very little, and obviously going in 25 people at a time, and you've had the entire day's worth of people going in and out of the pyramid. It does get very hot. So going out was pleasant, and also when you went out, there was a very strange energy that I think we all sat with for quite a while, because you were inside this ancient building where you received lots, and then coming out into the real world, everything looked a little bit unreal, and it did not feel like we were inside for 2 hours. It felt like minutes and moments, and at the same time it felt like forever. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a talk about the ceremony and what I'm going to be taking you through. So I'm going to guide you through a visualization, or just I'll guide you through whatever you need to look at and focus at. Then what we'll do is we'll go through, I'm going to read some ancient Egyptian text, which is basically our procession, our invocation, and then our greetings. And it's going to be to the four cardinal directions and the elements. So it's looking from the Egyptian perspective, there's a little bit of a shamanic background. So that sets our space that we work with. And then I will work with the wand to do our transmission. So I've got my wand over here, and I'll just show a photo of this in a moment as well. And then basically do the blessings for that. And then there's going to be a little bit of toning, and then we're going to finish off the session. Okay, so just to get you into perspective of what we're dealing with or what we're working with, the energies we'll be working with is with Khenum or Khemu. So he is the central character that you see here. He looks like a ram with extra horns and a big head and whatever. He is the main energy that we call in first. Khenum or Khnemu was the creator god, but specifically the creator of man. In the mythologies, he created man out of clay. So we call back to our creator. Next, we work with Geb and Nut. In this image, you'll see Nut is the female that is right on top. She's arched over everyone. She represents the sky. And on the floor lying down is Geb, which is her consort. He represents earth. In between Geb and Nut, so we're only working with Geb and Nut energies, but just so you understand what's happening in the image, in between Geb and Nut is Shu, which is air, and then on either side of Shu is Khnemu, that's holding up, or Khnum, that's holding up Shu's arms to help him to hold up the sky. So we'll be working with Geb and Nut next. Then we work with Osar, or Osiris. He's the Lord of the Underworld, and he is also, I think what I'll do is as I'll call in each of the energies, I'll let you know what the directions are and what the elements are, so that you also understand what they are all about. So he is all about resurrection and rebirth. Then we'll work with Auset and Nebthet, or Isis and Nephthys. Isis is sitting on the left and Nephthys is sitting on the right. Isis has the throne on the head and Nephthys has the house with the bowl on her head. Then after them, we'll be working with Set. He is seen as almost like the devil if you look at Egyptian mythologies, but he is the brother of Isis, Nephthys, Osiris, Horus, and that's those three. Before. And Set's role is really, it's chaos really. So he is there as the counterpart or the balancing point between all of these perfect energies. He's the one that comes in. So when we look at it from a yin and yang perspective, we need the light and the dark together to form the whole. And in the same way, Set is the chaotic energy that comes in to bring balance and harmony to the other energies. So it's not seen as the devil as we would see it in Western terminology. And then we've got Anpu or Anubis. He is the jackal-headed god standing over the sarcophagus over there. Anpu, Anubis, he is the son of Set and Nephthys. Horus or Heru is the son of Isis and Osiris. So we'll bring in Anpu as the protector and the guardian for this as well. So those are the energies we'll be working with as we will be calling in everything and working through everything. Then somewhere along the way, I will mention to you about holding on to the lotus staff and the was staff. The lotus staff is on the left. It's got a little lotus flower on top, and the was staff has this Set-like head on top, which is about power. and control and all of those type of energies. So the lotus is associated with the feminine, and the was is associated with the masculine. So these two staffs bring the divine masculine feminine qualities in. So on your side, I need you to visualize or feel what it feels like to hold a staff in your hand. You'll be holding it in the center so that there's the hook at the bottom, and then your hands in the middle, and then the head will be on top. I've just got this is a patah staff, which is a different one. But you'll be holding onto these staffs, one in each hand. So if you can feel or pretend that you are holding on, these are made of copper, so what it would feel like to hold on to a copper staff, and you'll be holding on to them as though they are real. So that's going to be those ones. In your visualization, in your left hand you'll see the lotus staff, and on your right the was staff. Then I'll be working with the patah staff. This one's got it's basically a combination of a whole bunch of the symbols. You've got was, ankh, and the jed pillar. So this is usually the staff that patah, the one of the, like the creator of the creators, is holding on to. Okay, and then let's have a quick look at the grid layouts. As I'd mentioned, this is the first time that I have recreated this particular grid since we've been to Egypt. And the energy in the space is literally buzzing. It really feels like I'm back inside the King's Chamber. So I'm hoping that by tuning into this frequency, you will also receive some of this vibration. I'm not going to go through too much of an analysis of what's happening here, but right on top we've got Netu Neteru, and right at the bottom we've got Netu Neteru. So it's like the God frequencies above and below. Just underneath the top Netu Neteru, we've got the synchronicity, which then goes into Ach, the spirit, which goes into the Ren, your true name, which then goes into the heart, the red card. And underneath that, you've got another red card, the Sechem. On top of the heart and Sechem is power, we've got the divine child. So the divine child is marrying together our power in our heart. And then underneath Sechem, we've got two blue cards, orange and a black. So we've got the air, which is associated with breath, which is associated with truth. Then you've got Shen, which is eternity and its protection. And then you've got Chet, which is the orange one, which is also protection, but it's a feminine protection, whereas the Shen is an active protection. And then next to that is the physical body. So here we are taking all of those energies that's coming from the heavens, and we are anchoring that in from the subtlest of energies, as in our breath, through to the most physical of energies, our body. And the card underneath that, the brown one, is the earth card, which anchors this in, and it anchors it into life and the jed pillar, which is structure. So the red and the pink card at the bottom. The arms coming out to the sides, the ren and the ach. So towards the top, your true name and your spirit. On the either side of it, we've got the bar and the car. Bar and the car is the marriage, or the elements that make up the ach. And next to the bar, we've got the awareness card, and next to the car, we've got the clearing card. Above those two, we've got the fire and the union cards. And then balancing the heart space, we've got the shadow and the judge, which is the spirit body or the soul. So our soul and our shadow is balancing that. For shadow is our shadow aspects. And then we've got the divine masculine and feminine on either sides, the gold and the silver card. And then just underneath that, we've got the radiance and the receive card. And underneath that, we've got the water and the air card. So I'm not going to go to too much detail about what that means. But when I look at this particular image, there's so much information that comes to me, because obviously I'm working with the Wands of Horus cards to understand what it's about. But we're going to be here for hours if I'm going to explain everything. So for you, I want you to just experience this. Then what I did was I placed the ankh on the center, and I've got the was and the lotus staffs on either side, and they are in reverse to what they would normally be. So what would happen is I would obviously hold these staffs and hand them over to you, and then they'll be in the right location. So when we get there, we'll take you through that visualization where I'm holding onto the staffs and then I'm handing them to you, and then you'll have the lotus in your left and the was in your right. And then what I did was I put the soil from the subterranean chamber at the very, very bottom. And right on top, I've got the crystal skull that was with us in the pyramid as well. And then my pie stone, which was with me throughout the journey in Egypt, which is in the center. And then just to seal the deal, I've got our light code sitting on top. So what we'll do is we'll keep this one up while I'm doing the process with you. And yeah, perhaps I'll just flash the pictures of the gods as I call their names, and all the archetypal energies. Okay, so yes, let's go for this. Let's get ourselves comfortable. Get into a meditative space for yourself, whether it's seated or lying down. I prefer seated, but entirely up to you. Take a few cleansing breaths in and out. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through an open, relaxed mouth. Through the power and the authority of my Ren, my true secret soul name, I call forth my cloak of initiation. This cloak of initiation is something that we built throughout our journey in Egypt, with every ceremony and with every meditation and at every sacred site. And now, through the power and authority of Myren, I call forth your cloak of initiation, which will be a summary of these experiences that I had in our collective. Let's go for 3 cleansing breaths again. Inhaling through the nose, exhale through an open, relaxed mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Next, we're going to do a ha breath. You inhale deeply through the nose and then exhale through an open, relaxed mouth while toning the sound ha. You tone for as long as you can, and when you run out of breath, you just take another deep breath in and continue toning ha again for as long as you can. We'll do this for roughly a minute. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Inhale. We call in the energy of Hanemu, the creator aspect. Hanemu neter per em aker. We call in the energy of Nut, the sky. Muti Nut enek iu septu em per ek pen ek akiu. Pen en achiu. Muti Nut enek iu septu em perek pen en achiu. We call in the energy of Geb, earth. Iti igeb enek iu septu imperek pen en ahiu. We call in the energy of Osiris, associated with the east and the element of fire. Asar unefer genti peru, petag neb ang, asar her achut. We call in the energy of Nebthet, Nephthys, associated with the south and the element of water. Het sechem, het chasit, ta keset, per mert, ra nefert, hebet. We call in the energy of our Set, Isis, associated with the west and with the element of air. Satisopdet, tenenet anket, sechet renunet jed amet sah. We call in the energy of Set, or Seth, associated with the north and the element of earth. Achemu seku set nupti mescheti chepesh. We call in the energy of Anpu, Anubis, associated with the north and the element of earth. Apwat tep tuef hent sehet ut sechem empet sechem tawi. We greet our Sar, Osiris, associated with the east and the element of fire. Ahemi ahu, heri abhet ashemu, nefer en pet aptet. We greet Nebtet, Nephthys, associated with the south and the element water. Ahemi henti heri, abhet jesheru nefer en petresi. We greet our Set, Isis, associated with the west and the element air. Ahemi nechen seshemu tawi nefer en pet amentet. We greet Set, Seth, associated with the north and the element of earth. Ahemi sechem nefer en pet mehtet. We greet Anpu, Anubis, associated with the north and the element of earth. Ahemi sechem nefer en pet nehtet. See yourself coming into a circle. Everyone participating in this meditation in the present, in the past, and in the future are gathered here, forming a circle. And take your place in the circle where you feel comfortable. And in the center of the circle, you see me stand, holding the was staff and the lotus staff. In my left hand, I hold the was staff. In my right hand, I hold the lotus staff. I call you to the center of the circle, and you stand facing me. I reach my hands up high above my head, calling down the energies that is most suitable for you to receive right now. I bring my hands down, and then I invite you to reach out and take hold of these staffs that I'm holding on to, so that you receive the lotus staff in your left hand and the was staff in your right hand. Hanemu says, I bless you with the completeness of quintessence. Geb and Nut dons your cloak of initiation and says, we bless you with the completeness of ether. Asar says, I bless you with the completeness of fire. Nebtet says, I bless you with the completeness of water. Aset says, I bless you with the completeness of air. Set and Anpu says, we bless you with the completeness of earth. Everyone in the circle reaches their right arm out and forms what's known as the sword mudra, with the index finger and middle finger extended, and points towards you, beaming energy to you so that you may receive what is required for you in this moment in time. I indicate for you to return the wasp staff and the lotus staff back to me. And you leave the center of the circle and move back to your seated location. Now take a moment to center and feel what it feels like for what you have received, any insights, any sensations. And take all of what you've received and form that energy into a symbol or an image. And take that symbol, whatever it may be, and place it in your body where you feel it is needed. From this day forth, you will have new energy, new insights, new inspiration, new ways of perceiving things, new perspectives. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. How would your life be? What choices and decisions did you make? How did you implement them with the knowledge and wisdom that you have? See yourself 10 years in the future. Look how far you've come, what you've accomplished. Now imagine that all the experiences, all the wisdom, all the knowledge that you've gained in this 10 years into the future is being pooled and brought together into a ball of light. Make this ball really, really bright and allow the color to start shifting until it becomes a violet color, like a violet flame. Now we call that violet flame, that ball of light, into this now space reality, and we ask that that violet flame enters into your crown and moves through your body and into your being on all levels and layers. Now visualize the sun disk, or a very bright ball of light above your head, above your crown. Slowly allow this ball of light to enter into the crown of your head, moving through your body, down into your head and your neck, your chest, your belly, and down through your base chakra. You can take it down through your legs if you want to as well. And take that ball of light all the way down to the Earth Star and down into the heart of the Earth. We thank Khanemu, and we now release you. We thank Nut, and we now release you. We thank Geb, and we now release you. We thank Alsar, and we now release you. We thank Nebthet, and we now release you. We thank Alset, and we now release you. We thank Set, and we now release you. We thank Anpu, and we now release you. Becoming aware of your body, becoming aware of yourself in this time and space. Coming back into your body, perhaps wiggling your fingers and your toes, taking a few cleansing breaths in and out. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, coming back into this now space reality.